A row of screens flickers in the dim light of the laboratory. The air hums faintly, vibrating with the quiet rhythm of machines built to measure what was once thought unmeasurable. A group of physicists stands motionless before a monitor, eyes wide, breathing shallow. On the screen, something strange, something that should not exist. Inside a single atom, the image emerging from their instruments does not look like a blur of particles or clouds of probability. It looks like a pattern, a shape, a structure that mirrors something hauntingly familiar, the swirling filaments of galaxies scattered across the cosmos. For a long, fragile moment, no one speaks. Then, almost in a whisper, someone says what the rest are afraid to voice. It looks like a universe. The discovery is not meant to be poetic, yet it feels like the start of a myth. For centuries, science has taught us that the atom is the smallest piece of existence, a building block of matter too small to see, too simple to hold secrets. But here, deep in the quantum fog, the known laws seem to bend. Inside this invisible realm, space expands instead of shrinking, complexity unfolds instead of dissolving, and the boundary between micro and macro begins to blur. The deeper the scientists look, the more impossible it becomes. It is as if every atom is not a speck of matter, but a portal into something infinitely larger. Outside the lab, the night sky stretches cold and clear, stars burning silently millions of light years away. The narrator's voice rises over the hum of distant machinery, calm, deliberate, tinged with disbelief. What if, it asks, the smallest things are mirrors of the greatest? What if every atom contains the pattern of the cosmos? A reflection so complete that to study matter is to gaze back into the universe itself. The question lingers like a faint echo across time and space. It is not science fiction anymore. It is a mystery that both science and philosophy now dare to face. The footage cuts between the faces of the researchers, tired, pale, but lit with a strange, frightened awe. Their instruments are real. Their data is clean. Yet what they see defies logic. How could a particle, a mere point of energy, hold within it the structure of entire galactic webs? The camera zooms closer into the screen. Filaments of light twist and weave, dark voids forming between them, just like the vast emptiness that separates galaxies. Every detail seems to mock coincidence. It feels intentional, designed even, as if the universe has copied its own architecture within every atom, repeating the same cosmic fingerprint again and again from the infinite to the infinitesimal. One of the scientists, exhausted and trembling, murmurs, "It can't be real." But another replies quietly, "And yet, it is." Their voices fade under the swelling sound of the narrator. The tone shifts, gentle, philosophical, almost reverent. Perhaps reality, it says, is not divided by size or scale. Perhaps the universe folds in on itself, a cosmic recursion, where every atom holds the blueprint of creation itself. The thought is terrifying. It suggests that there is no smallest point, no final layer to peel away. The deeper we go, the larger it becomes. The universe may not be expanding outward alone, it may also be expanding inward, endlessly. The scene cuts to archival images, galaxies spiraling, subatomic collisions, the first black and white footage of atoms being mapped. The music swells, layered with a low, trembling hum, like the sound of deep space breathing. The narrator's voice lowers, steady and precise. "In the beginning we searched the heavens for meaning," it says. But maybe the heavens have always been within. The phrase hangs heavy, poetic yet scientific, grounded yet transcendent. The idea that the atom, this silent, invisible fragment, might be the doorway to everything we've ever known or imagined, feels both wondrous and deeply unsettling. The final images of the section dissolve into the blackness of the screen. A single question glows in silence, both on screen and in the viewer's mind. If they found a universe inside an atom, what does that make us? Explorers of matter or inhabitants of something much smaller than we dare to imagine? The light fades. The hum stops. The story pauses on the edge of revelation, ready to fall into the next question. What truly lies inside the smallest spark that shouldn't exist? The image fades in slowly, a swirl of light suspended in darkness. The camera drifts between two scales of reality, the vast filaments of galaxies stretching across billions of light years, and the ghostly tendrils of subatomic particles orbiting within a single atom. They look identical. Their shapes, their clusters, the voids between them, the resemblance is uncanny, almost impossible. The narrator's voice cuts through the silence, calm but heavy with wonder. What if the structure of everything we see, stars, planets, entire galaxies, is only a reflection of what exists within the smallest pieces of matter? It is a question that sounds ancient, almost mythical, yet it belongs entirely to modern science. The scene transitions to a visual split. On one side, the cosmic web of the universe, captured by telescopes mapping dark matter. On the other, a simulation of quantum foam, the restless background fabric of spacetime. Both appear alive, pulsing with hidden geometry. The viewer cannot tell which is which. The mirror of infinity, the narrator continues, is not a metaphor. It is a pattern repeating itself, across unimaginable distances, across scales that should never meet, across the boundaries of perception itself. The voice slows, almost whispering. The universe seems to echo within itself. Scientists call it self-similarity, a law that nature follows with quiet precision. Clouds, coastlines, blood vessels, neurons, even galaxies, all shaped by fractal geometry, repeating structures within structures, infinite recursion. But this resemblance between the micro and the macro is not only aesthetic. It hints at a deeper law, a hidden unity woven into the code of existence. The narrator compares it to a song repeating the same melody in different octaves, higher and lower, yet always the same tune. From the smallest atom to the largest cluster of galaxies, the voice says, the universe may be humming one eternal note. We drift closer to the quantum world, to the haze of electrons, the trembling field of possibilities. What we see is not solid, not even physical in the way we once imagined. Particles are not little spheres, but excitations in a field, vibrations of something unseen. And yet, when observed, they take on definite form as if aware of being watched. In this realm, space is not empty but alive with fluctuations, every moment birthing and destroying countless virtual particles. It is chaos, yet patterned chaos, just like the cosmic web above. Both seem to arise from the same underlying design, a mirror reflecting across infinite scales. The narrator pauses, then shifts tone, contemplative, almost philosophical. If the atom mirrors the universe, then perhaps we are not observers of the cosmos, but expressions of it, fragments of a vast self that contemplates itself from within. The camera pulls back through layers of scale. Molecules, cells, human eyes reflecting starlight, then Earth floating in the black ocean of space. The image becomes a loop, the cosmos looking back at itself through human consciousness. The music deepens, resonating with a haunting cello note that lingers like the vibration of thought. Yet for all its beauty, this symmetry carries a disquieting implication. If everything reflects everything, then boundaries are illusions. There is no up or down, no small or large. The same principles governing galaxies might govern the atoms in our blood. Reality becomes recursive, self-creating, self-knowing. The mirror of infinity, the narrator whispers, does not end at the edge of the cosmos. It continues inward endlessly, folding upon itself like light trapped between two perfect mirrors. Each reflection reveals another world, smaller yet identical, each one containing another infinity within. The film cuts to an ancient perspective. Carved into temple walls and whispered in lost philosophies, the ancients spoke of this same mirror, as above, so below. The Hermetic maxim, now echoed by quantum physics. What they intuited through myth, modern science approaches through mathematics. Both paths lead to the same dizzying question. Is the structure of the universe an accident or a design? The narrator lets the question linger, heavy with both wonder and fear. Because if design exists, it must exist everywhere, from the spiral of galaxies to the spiral of DNA. A slow pan through a neuron's branching network fades into a simulation of the cosmic web. The similarity is stunning. Each neuron connects through filaments, each galaxy through gravity, both systems shaped by invisible forces, both transmitting energy and information. We may be built in the image of the cosmos, the narrator says softly, not metaphorically but literally. The thought feels too large to contain. Every human thought, every flash of awareness, might be the universe dreaming through itself, each mind, a mirror fragment of the infinite. But every mirror hides distortion. The deeper we look, the more questions we uncover. Why should nature favor such repetition? Why does scale not destroy pattern? Some physicists suggest it is inevitable. The same laws of physics applied across scales will produce similar outcomes. Others whisper of something more profound, that reality is holographic, that every point contains the information of the whole. If this is true, the voice continues, then to understand an atom is to understand everything that ever was. The section closes in silence. The camera returns to the glowing image of the atom, its patterns swirling like galaxies. The voice grows softer, intimate. We used to think the universe was out there, beyond reach. But what if it has always been here, inside every grain of matter waiting to be recognized. The screen fades to black, leaving behind a single pulse of light, one spark repeating endlessly, like an echo across the infinite mirror. The mystery deepens and the next question rises unspoken. If every atom contains the universe, who or what is doing the looking? The descent begins not with a fall, but with a shrinking. The screen fades from the wide expanse of stars to the invisible realm beneath human perception, a dive from the cosmic to the atomic. The narrator's voice, low and deliberate, guides the viewer downward. To find the truth, it says, we must go smaller, smaller than dust, smaller than cells, smaller than light itself. The camera glides through the membrane of a single atom as if through an ocean. Space bends around it. Light dissolves into haze. There is no up or down, no color, no sound, only vibration. What was once solid begins to vanish, revealing that matter is mostly nothing at all. In this strange landscape, we see particles drifting through a vast emptiness, but even the word particle feels wrong. They are not tiny marbles spinning in a void. They are waves, pulses of probability, whispers of potential. They do not exist in one place until we look. The closer we approach, the less we find. Solidity dissolves into uncertainty. The narrator pauses, the silence stretching. Inside the smallest world, it says, there is nothing certain, and yet everything begins. The scene unfolds like a dream. A proton looms ahead, surrounded by a mist of electrons that do not orbit but flicker, appearing and disappearing in flashes. Every frame feels alive, breathing, shifting. An atom, the narrator continues, is not a thing. It is a pattern, a rhythm of being. The voice carries both awe and reverence, as if describing a living organism. 99.9% of it is empty space. The rest is energy, vibrating, pulsing, singing. The camera zooms closer still into the heart of the nucleus, where quarks and gluons twist together like strands of lightning. Each pulse of light is a heartbeat of creation itself. The imagery grows more abstract, colors melt into motion, and the boundaries between one particle and another blur completely. Space becomes texture, texture becomes sound. It feels less like observation and more like entering a thought, as though reality itself is a concept held together by attention. The narrator's tone softens, philosophical. The deeper we look, it says, the more we realize that what we call matter is not solid. It is a song written in energy, a vibration within an endless field. Suddenly the tone shifts. The music swells with tension, the visuals trembling with motion. But if atoms are mostly empty, the voice asks, then why does the world feel solid? Why do we not fall through the chair we sit on, the floor beneath our feet? The question hangs in the dark. The answer emerges slowly like revelation. Because emptiness resists. Because energy holds form. Because every atom hums with forces, electric, magnetic, gravitational, a silent orchestra maintaining the illusion of solidity. The camera sweeps across an invisible dance of forces, light bending around them like silk. For a moment, the film lingers on the paradox. The more science reveals, the less we understand what real means. Inside this smallest world, nothing behaves the way intuition expects. Particles vanish and reappear, traveling paths that never existed, communicating faster than light, existing in multiple states at once. This is not a world of things, the narrator whispers, but of possibilities. The tension rises again. What once felt like discovery now feels like mystery deepening into the unknown. We watch as data pulses across the scientists' screens, clouds of probability instead of clear orbits, equations replacing visual certainty. The narrator's tone becomes reflective. For centuries we believed the atom was the end, the final indivisible truth. But every time we cut deeper, the pattern repeats. There is always something smaller, always something hidden beneath the known. The image zooms infinitely inward, from atom to nucleus, from quark to vibration, until even vibration dissolves into pure mathematical field. The feeling is both terrifying and beautiful. Infinity contained within what we once called nothing. The film slows to near stillness. The narrator breathes softly. Inside the smallest world, the boundaries between science and spirituality blur. The physicist and the philosopher stand side by side, staring into the same abyss. A faint hum fills the silence, like a cosmic tone heard from within the atom. Here space is not absence, it is potential. Every empty distance is the womb of creation. The visuals shift into fractal forms, luminous webs twisting endlessly inward, each smaller than the last, each echoing the structure of galaxies. Then the camera pulls back, expanding outward from the quantum scale toward the visible world. The narrator continues, "We think of atoms as the building blocks of life. But they are not bricks, they are breaths. Each one flickers into being, disappears, and returns again billions of times a second. We are not built of matter, we are woven of motion." The language becomes poetic, almost sacred. Every breath we take, every heartbeat, every thought, all of it, a vibration echoing from the heart of the smallest world. As the perspective widens, the human body takes form again, trillions of atoms dancing in perfect balance. Each is a miniature universe, alive with structure and silence. The narrator returns with quiet reverence. "You are made of empty space," it says. "And yet that space holds light. Every atom in your body once burned in a star, and every star is made of the same forces that bind your cells together. The small and the vast are not opposites. They are reflections." The final sequence cuts between two images, a swirling galaxy and the orbit of an electron cloud, both spinning in the same direction, following the same invisible rhythm. The voice lowers to a whisper. "Inside the smallest world we see the face of the infinite. And perhaps," it says, "the infinite has always been looking back." The screen fades to black, the sound of the quantum hum echoing like a heartbeat in the dark, the pulse of existence itself. The laboratory feels quieter now, not from silence but from the weight of awareness. After the discovery, after seeing something cosmic within the microscopic, the scientists move differently, speak softer. Every movement seems to disturb something unseen, as if even thought might ripple through the air. The narrator's voice enters slowly, calm and resonant. "The universe," it says, "does not stand still when we look at it. It looks back." A beam of light cuts through the dark. A single photon travels across the room and hits a sensor. That's all, a simple experiment. Yet in that act lies one of the strangest truths ever uncovered. The moment it is measured, the photon changes its behavior. It decides whether to be a wave or a particle, as if responding to attention. The narrator continues, "Every act of observation alters the outcome. Every glance reshapes reality. Inside the quantum world, to measure is to create." The tone is factual but tinged with wonder, the rhythm deliberate, almost sacred. We see a montage of quantum experiments, the double-slit, delayed choice quantum erasers. Each one reveals a disturbing pattern. Particles behave differently when they are being watched. Unobserved, they travel as waves, exploring all possibilities simultaneously. Observed, they collapse into a single state, a single point. "This is the universe that breathes back," the narrator says. "A universe that responds to awareness itself." The camera floats closer to the glowing apparatus, focusing on the interference patterns forming and vanishing like living things. Scientists once called it collapse of the wave function, but to the viewer, it feels like something far more intimate, as if reality itself awakens the moment it's seen. The narrator's voice deepens. "Perhaps existence is not made of matter or energy alone. Perhaps it is made of relationship, the eternal conversation between the observer and the observed." The tone shifts, more philosophical, even haunting. "For centuries," the voice says, "we believed the universe was indifferent, a cold machine grinding forward, uncaring and absolute. But in this small, trembling world, that illusion breaks apart." The film cuts between historical figures. Einstein, Schrödinger, Bohr, their faces marked by doubt and brilliance. They saw something they could not explain, that reality does not exist in a definite state until it is experienced. The act of observing brings it into form. The universe does not reveal itself unless someone is there to ask. A brief pause. Then the question comes softly, almost like prayer. "So who, then, is observing the universe when no one is watching?" The music slows to a near whisper. The viewer is left staring at rippling light across a glass surface. The implication is vast, that awareness might be woven into the fabric of existence itself. The next sequence moves through the natural world. A drop of water falling, a leaf trembling in wind, starlight bending through space. Every image breathes. "We used to believe observation required eyes," the narrator says. "But the quantum field needs only interaction. Every collision, every exchange of energy, is an act of observation. Every atom watches the others. Every particle feels the rest. Reality, then, is not static, it is participatory." The film shifts into a meditative rhythm. We see close-ups of neurons firing, the lens of an eye dilating, galaxies rotating in the silence of space. The narrator's tone grows poetic. "When you look at the night sky, it is not only you who are observing the stars. The starlight that enters your eye completes a journey that began billions of years ago. In that instant, the universe finishes a thought it started before you were born. The screen splits in two again. One side showing a scientist watching a quantum event unfold, the other showing the universe expanding across time. Both scenes pulse in unison, the same rhythm of breath. Observation, the voice says, is creation. Consciousness is not separate from reality, it is reality experiencing itself. The music grows tense. The visuals blur into paradox. Two particles, separated by distance, change simultaneously when one is measured. It is as though invisible threads connect them, a network of awareness binding the cosmos together. The narrator's voice sharpens with quiet awe. If every act of observation affects reality, then every point in the universe is alive with potential, awake in some silent way. And yet, this realization unsettles. The film slows, the tone becomes contemplative. What then is free will? The voice asks. If everything exists only when observed, do we shape the universe or does it shape us? The screen fills with fractal images, mirrors within mirrors, an endless cascade of eyes reflecting eyes. Perhaps the boundary between observer and observed is an illusion, perhaps we are not looking at the universe but through it. A flash of archival footage appears. The first images of Earth from space. The narrator returns, soft and deliberate. When astronauts looked back at our planet for the first time, they wept. Not from fear but from recognition. The observer had seen itself. The connection between human consciousness and the cosmos becomes undeniable. Every act of perception, from a scientist's gaze to a photon's interaction, is part of the same dialogue, the same universal breath. The final moments of the section move inward again, to a single human face illuminated by the glow of a monitor. The narrator lowers its tone to a near whisper. The universe breathes out, matter, energy, time. And through us it breathes in, awareness, reflection, meaning. Between the two lies existence itself. The camera fades to darkness. A faint pulse of light remains, beating slowly, like the rhythm of a cosmic lung inhaling and exhaling. The voice closes on a final line that bridges science and wonder. We do not merely observe the universe, we complete it. The screen fades entirely to black, the hum of the quantum field lingering like a living breath, drawing us deeper into the mystery that consciousness and reality may be one and the same. Particles flicker across the dark canvas of the atomic world, appearing and disappearing with no warning. They do not follow the rules of classical physics. They follow a language older than human logic, a rhythm that seems almost conscious. The narrator's voice, calm but charged with suspense, begins, "In the heart of the atom, reality itself bends and fractures." Here paradox is not an exception, it is the rule. The camera glides through a simulated quantum landscape, where electrons occupy multiple states at once, and particles separated by vast distances seem to act in perfect unison. This is the quantum mirage, a realm that defies intuition. Two particles, perhaps separated by galaxies, change instantly when one is disturbed. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. For decades, scientists struggled against their disbelief, insisting that hidden forces or unknown variables must explain it. Yet the evidence grows undeniable. Entanglement is real. The universe, it seems, is a web of instantaneous connections, a network of hidden communication that binds the microcosm together. The visuals pulse with tension, the particles shimmering like threads of living light. The narrator's tone becomes reflective. Imagine two dancers performing perfectly across a stage the size of the cosmos, never meeting, never touching, yet moving in complete synchrony. That is the world of quantum entanglement, a mirror of the universe's own mysterious harmony. The camera zooms in on a particle pair, spinning and vibrating, their existence intertwined despite distance. It is a spectacle at once beautiful and unsettling, a choreography that suggests the universe itself might be aware of its own structure. The section shifts into historical perspective. Scientists like Bell, Aspect, and Clauser performed experiments to prove the impossibility of local reality, testing the limits of human understanding. Archival footage of labs, oscilloscopes, and meticulous data collection fills the screen. The narrator continues, "They opened a door into a world where cause and effect no longer operate in the simple ways we imagine. Where the act of measurement is not passive but transformative. Where reality itself may be a single, unified field of interaction." The tone is tense, almost conspiratorial, as if the audience has stumbled upon a secret the universe has tried to hide. Visual metaphors bridge the gap between concept and experience. Imagine two galaxies spiraling in perfect synchrony, separated by billions of light years, responding instantaneously to each other's movement. Entangled particles are like these galaxies, only smaller, faster, and stranger. The narrator leans into the philosophical implications. If one particle can know the state of another across vast distances, what does this say about the nature of reality itself? Is separation an illusion? Are boundaries nothing more than constructs of perception? The music rises, a low, humming tension, reflecting the uncanny beauty of possibility. The camera dives deeper, into the mathematical heart of the phenomenon. Equations stretch across the screen like ribbons of light, probability amplitudes weaving a tapestry of uncertainty and order. These particles, the narrator explains, exist in a superposition of states, all possibilities simultaneously. Only when observed do they collapse into a single reality. Yet even then, that reality is not confined to one place, one moment, one perspective. The visuals echo this, showing mirrored waves folding and interfering, creating patterns that resemble cosmic filaments. A quiet tension builds as the narrator poses a profound question. If entanglement is the rule rather than the exception, then the universe may be a single, conscious system, observing itself from within. The suggestion is unsettling yet intoxicating, that the cosmos is not merely matter and energy but a web of awareness. The audience is left suspended between scientific explanation and philosophical wonder. The tone shifts again, cinematic and suspenseful. The camera moves through a quantum field, showing virtual particles flaring into existence and collapsing in microseconds. What we see is separate, the narrator continues, may be deeply connected. The fabric of reality trembles with unseen forces, threads of connection that defy space and time. Entanglement hints at a universe that is less like a machine, and more like a living organism. Every movement of the virtual particles feels purposeful, as if each is aware of its role within the larger design. The section widens to the human scale, showing researchers in deep concentration, staring at screens filled with data. Their excitement and anxiety reflect the stakes of understanding this invisible world. We are the witnesses, the narrator intones, but perhaps also the participants. Every measurement, every observation, nudges reality itself. In the quantum mirage, the line between observer and observed disappears. The imagery becomes almost surreal, blending human action with cosmic phenomena, suggesting that we, too, are entwined in the infinite web. Finally, the section moves into philosophical reflection, bridging science and wonder. Entanglement shows us that the universe may not be fragmented, the narrator whispers, that separation is an illusion, that connection is fundamental. Every particle, every atom, every galaxy may be engaged in a conversation that spans the breadth of existence itself. Perhaps the universe is not only something we inhabit, perhaps it is something we are. The camera pulls back, leaving the entangled particles shimmering against the void. Their invisible threads stretch across darkness, linking distant points in an intricate, unseen design. The narrator concludes with quiet gravity. The quantum mirage reminds us that reality is not fixed, that what we perceive is only one version of the infinite. And in that uncertainty, we find the most profound truth. The universe, in its smallest parts, is alive with mystery. The story of the invisible universe is also the story of those who dared to look. The camera drifts through time, passing through sepia-toned laboratories, cluttered desks, and chalkboards covered in cryptic symbols. Each scene reveals the hands and faces of the pioneers, Planck, Bohr, Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and Einstein, men and women whose curiosity drove them to probe the limits of understanding. The narrator's voice rises slowly, carrying both reverence and tension. They were explorers, it says, venturing into a world no one could see, guided only by mathematics, intuition, and an unshakable belief that reality was more than appearances. We enter Max Planck's study first, candles flickering over papers filled with scribbled equations. He is wrestling with the problem of blackbody radiation, a puzzle that defies classical physics. Energy, the narrator explains, was thought to flow in smooth waves. But Planck discovered it comes in discrete quanta, the first hint that the universe is not continuous but granular, vibrating in steps invisible to the eye. This breakthrough is presented not merely as science but as a revelation, the first glimpse of a hidden cosmos, a world beneath the world. Next, Niels Bohr appears, pacing before the atomic model he would make famous. His diagrams of electrons orbiting a nucleus like planets around the sun are both intuitive and incomplete. The narrator's voice softens. Bohr gave shape to the invisible, yet even he could not imagine the strange behaviors awaiting discovery, electrons that vanish, particles that act at a distance, waves that collapse when observed. The camera lingers on Bohr's face, etched with curiosity and doubt. His triumph is shadowed by the knowledge that nature was far more mysterious than he could explain. The focus shifts to Einstein, whose voice, calm yet insistent, challenged the very foundation of quantum theory. The narrator explains, Einstein believed in a universe with certainty, where cause and effect followed unbroken chains. But the quantum world mocked such order. He called entanglement spooky action at a distance, struggling to reconcile the theory with his belief in reality. Archival images show him deep in thought, surrounded by papers, letters exchanged with Bohr, the tension between certainty and paradox palpable. The section emphasizes the emotional weight of discovery, that science is as much about the human mind wrestling with the unknown as it is about equations and experiments. Schrödinger appears next, framed by dim light and the faint scribble of quills. His famous cat emerges as a metaphor, alive and dead, uncertain, a thought experiment that captures the bewildering essence of quantum mechanics. The narrator's tone is almost conspiratorial. Schrödinger wanted to show the absurdity of the theory, yet in doing so, he revealed a truth too strange to ignore. The universe does not yield to simple intuition. It obeys its own rules, hidden beneath layers of probability and possibility. The camera pans over sketches of wave functions and probability clouds, swirling like nebulae in the cosmos. The section now interweaves the personal and the philosophical. These pioneers were more than scientists. They were dreamers and skeptics, haunted by the enormity of what they glimpsed. Their discoveries were not just about particles and atoms, but about the limits of knowledge itself. Each breakthrough came with awe and terror, the narrator continues. To peer inside the atom was to confront infinity, to see the threads of reality twisting in ways that defy imagination. And yet, they pressed on, driven by curiosity stronger than fear. We move to the modern era, where laboratories hum with machines that dwarf human scale. Researchers manipulate particles with lasers and magnetic fields, following in the footsteps of these early pioneers. Yet the essence of discovery remains unchanged. The same questions, the same uncertainty, the same wonder. The architects of the invisible, the narrator says, built not just experiments, but the framework through which we now glimpse the universe inside the atom. They showed us that knowledge is not a destination, but a journey through endless layers of mystery. The visuals shift between historical and modern scenes, chalkboards dissolving into digital simulations, Bohr's diagrams morphing into quantum field models. The narrator emphasizes contrast, human limitation against cosmic vastness, small laboratories against infinite patterns, fleeting human lives against the timeless behavior of matter. They taught us humility, the voice says, that the universe is older, stranger, and more complex than any one mind can grasp. And yet, they also taught us courage, that we can reach into the unknown and touch its edges, even if only for a fleeting moment. A quiet tension builds as the narrator bridges the historical discoveries to contemporary understanding. The pioneers could only glimpse hints, a wave here, a particle there. But their courage laid the path for what we see today: atoms that mirror galaxies, particles that communicate across light years, probability that hints at consciousness. The camera zooms slowly through a glowing lattice of entangled particles, each connected to another, a silent network echoing the work of those who first dared to look. The section closes on a reflective, almost poetic note. The narrator softens. In the hearts of these men and women, the invisible became visible. In their minds, uncertainty became wonder. They showed us that the universe is not only out there, among the stars, but also within, folded inside the smallest pieces of matter. And in their pursuit, they passed a torch to us, challenging us to continue looking, questioning, and marveling. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer with the lingering image of a single atom, glowing faintly, as if alive with the echoes of those who first dared to explore it. The universe, in its quiet elegance, speaks a language written not in words but in equations. The camera drifts slowly across pages filled with symbols, lines of calculation, and diagrams that resemble star maps more than anything earthly. The narrator's voice enters, calm yet charged with reverence. In the pursuit of understanding the smallest and largest scales, humanity discovered that mathematics is not merely a tool, it is a window into the structure of existence itself. These equations, precise and austere, carry the power to describe galaxies, atoms, and the invisible threads that bind them, as though the cosmos itself is composed of logic written in light. The story begins with the birth of quantum mechanics. Planck's quanta revealed that energy is not continuous, but discrete, a series of pulses vibrating through the fabric of reality. Bohr's model of the atom followed, sketching the first glimpses of the microscopic dance. The narrator emphasizes the poetic tension. Each symbol, each number hinted at a hidden order, yet teased the observer with layers of paradox. The smaller we looked, the more the universe revealed, and the more it defied expectation. The camera floats through a visual simulation of electrons orbiting a nucleus, not as solid spheres, but as ghostly probability clouds shimmering in uncertainty. As the field developed, Schrödinger and Heisenberg introduced wave functions and uncertainty principles, giving form to a reality that seemed impossible. The mathematics was not a convenience, the narrator explains, it was the reality itself. Equations were not describing the universe, they were the universe. Light bends along imaginary axes, particles overlap, and probabilities intertwine, forming patterns that echo the structure of cosmic filaments. Each equation becomes a bridge, connecting human imagination with the silent order of matter. The section transitions into Einstein's contributions, weaving relativity with the emerging quantum world. Space and time were no longer absolutes. They were malleable, bending and stretching under the influence of mass and energy. Einstein's insight, the narrator says, was that the fabric of reality is not fixed. Gravity is not a force in isolation, but the curvature of spacetime itself, a canvas upon which the smallest and largest actors perform their cosmic ballet. Visuals overlay orbiting electrons with bending light around massive galaxies, emphasizing the symmetry between microcosm and macrocosm. The camera zooms into a swirl of equations on a blackboard, each line vibrating with hidden meaning. The narrator's voice grows reflective. These were not abstract games. They were maps of reality, uncovering the principles that govern all scales, from the quivering electron to the spiral of distant galaxies. Mathematics became the medium through which the cosmos speaks to us, revealing patterns that are beautiful, intricate, and terrifyingly precise. The visual narrative shifts into dynamic simulations. Waves collapse into particles, fields ripple through space, and atomic structures expand to mirror clusters of stars. The narrator draws the connection. Through these equations we begin to see the poetry of existence. The same principles that bind protons together in a nucleus also guide the motion of galaxies. The mathematics is a bridge, linking the infinitely small with the infinitely large, the visible with the invisible. The screen pulses with energy, each mathematical expression morphing into light, resembling cosmic fireworks unfolding at unimaginable scales. The historical lens returns briefly, highlighting the human struggle behind the equations. Bohr and Einstein debate, Schrödinger sketches impossibilities, Planck whispers about quanta. The narrator emphasizes their courage. They wrestled with a universe that refused simplicity. Their minds stretched to accommodate contradictions, to embrace the paradox that reality is not what it seems. And through their struggle, they created a language capable of expressing the universe itself. The camera dives deeper into the mathematical patterns, visualizing complex functions as luminous networks. Fractals unfold infinitely, loops of symmetry echo across scales. Equations are not just descriptions, the narrator intones, they are the scaffolding of creation. They encode the rules of everything, particles, forces, galaxies, and perhaps even consciousness itself. Within them lies the template of the universe. The music swells, resonant with a low, pulsing vibration, reinforcing the idea that every number and symbol is alive with potential. The section crescendos with a visualization that merges microcosm and macrocosm. Electrons spiral around nuclei, their paths forming intricate filaments that expand outward into the cosmic web. Nebulae twist, galaxies spin, and superclusters stretch across the void, echoing the same geometric patterns as the atomic structures below. The equation that changed everything, the narrator whispers, is not a single line of symbols, but the realization that the same rules govern all scales. The very small and the very large are reflections of each other. Finally, the narrative reflects on the emotional resonance of discovery. Mathematics gave us the power to see beyond our senses, to predict, to understand, and yet also to marvel, the narrator concludes. Through these equations we glimpse the silent architecture of reality, the hidden dance that connects the atom to the galaxy, the observer to the observed. And in that realization, we are both humbled and inspired, standing on the edge of a universe that is at once comprehensible and infinite. The screen fades to black, leaving only the shimmering trace of equations dissolving into light, as if the universe itself is breathing through numbers. The universe is vast yet intimately connected. The camera glides across the night sky, tracing the delicate lattice of stars and galaxies, vast filaments stretching into infinity. The narrator's voice enters, soft and reverent. The cosmos in all its grandeur is more than empty space sprinkled with stars. It is a living network, a tapestry woven from forces both seen and unseen, every thread echoing the tiniest particle within us. As the scene zooms into a single galaxy, the visual begins to mirror the structure of an atom, swirling clusters of stars resembling electrons orbiting a nucleus. The connection is uncanny, almost impossible to dismiss. The focus shifts inward into the quantum world. Inside every atom, protons and neutrons form the core, electrons dancing in probability clouds around them. But this is not chaos. It is an intricate system governed by invisible rules, forces binding particles together, much like gravity and dark matter guide the motion of galaxies. The forces that hold the smallest pieces of matter together, the narrator continues, are the same principles that govern the stars themselves. Nature, it seems, does not distinguish between scales. Visual simulations ripple across the screen, showing subatomic interactions transforming seamlessly into cosmic motion. The narrator's tone deepens, philosophical, bridging science and wonder. Every atom, every particle, every quantum fluctuation carries within it the history of the universe. They are echoes of creation itself. We see visual metaphors, protons spinning like tiny suns, electrons tracing paths that mimic the orbit of planets, all underpinned by invisible forces. The imagery evokes awe, revealing that even the smallest units of matter are not static, but dynamic participants in a cosmic symphony. The scene shifts to the aftermath of the Big Bang. Energy condensed, matter formed, stars ignited, and galaxies spun into existence. The narrator explains, from the chaos of the beginning emerged order, and within that order, patterns repeated themselves, from the vast networks of galaxies to the internal structures of atoms. What seems infinite outwardly is mirrored inwardly, as if the universe has folded itself upon itself, embedding memory into every scale. The music swells, carrying the weight of billions of years into the viewer's mind. We move through simulations of molecular formation, watching atoms bond to form molecules, molecules cluster into matter, and matter organize into stars, planets, and life. The physics of the very small dictates the fate of the very large, the narrator continues. The pull of subatomic forces echoes in the orbits of planets, the spin of galaxies, the motion of dark matter. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything is connected. Each visual emphasizes symmetry, fractal patterns, and the subtle reflection between microscopic and cosmic architectures. Historical context weaves in as the camera hovers over archival images of scientists discovering nuclear forces, electromagnetic interactions, and the fine structure of matter. The narrator highlights how these discoveries illuminate the link between microcosm and macrocosm. For centuries, we thought the universe was governed by separate rules at different scales. But the deeper we probe, the more we realize that nature uses the same principles, the same laws, everywhere. It is a single coherent system, echoing itself from the tiniest quark to the farthest quasar. The section grows more contemplative, showing the implications for philosophy and human perspective. We see human eyes reflected in the night sky, hands hovering over microscopes, neurons firing in the brain. If the same patterns shape both stars and atoms, the narrator muses, then we too are part of this recursion. Our bodies, our thoughts, our very consciousness are expressions of the same forces that carved the cosmos. The visuals interlace cosmic filaments with neuronal networks, suggesting a bridge between physical and mental realities. A dramatic tension builds as the narrator emphasizes the universe's silent grandeur. It is both humbling and terrifying. The microcosm mirrors the macrocosm so precisely that one cannot help but wonder if the universe is self-aware, if every particle participates in a dialogue with every star. The cosmos is not merely around us, it is within us, echoing through our atoms, resonating in our minds, reflecting in our perception. The imagery becomes hypnotic, with luminous threads weaving between atomic structures and galactic webs. The section closes by drawing the viewer back to the human scale. The camera pans over a solitary observer gazing at the night sky. The narrator's voice softens, imbued with awe. In every atom there is memory of the cosmos. In every galaxy, there is a reflection of the atom. To study one is to glimpse the other. We are made of the same patterns, bound by the same forces, and carried by the same timeless rhythm. The universe whispers to us in every particle, in every photon, in every heartbeat. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between wonder and comprehension, feeling the invisible ties that connect the infinitely small to the infinitely vast. The camera drifts over a landscape at twilight, the horizon painted in shades of violet and gold. The air is still, heavy with expectation, as if the universe itself holds its breath. The narrator's voice enters, calm, deliberate, tinged with curiosity and reverence. We have seen the cosmos reflected in atoms, the microscopic mirrored in the cosmic. But there is another layer, one even more subtle, one that challenges the very way we understand existence itself. The focus begins to shift inward, into the realm where observation, consciousness, and reality intertwine. The scene transitions into a visual metaphor, a ripple on the surface of a dark, still pond. A single droplet disturbs the calm, sending waves radiating outward, intersecting and reflecting back. Every action, the narrator continues, every observation, every choice we make sends ripples through reality. But what if the universe is not simply a stage upon which we act, but a participant, aware, responsive, and interconnected? The visuals overlap, subatomic particles flickering, neurons firing, galaxies spinning. A continuous web of cause and effect that seems to transcend space and time. Quantum mechanics now takes center stage. The camera zooms into an electron, its position uncertain, its wave function oscillating. At this level, the narrator explains, reality is probabilistic. A particle does not exist in one state until it is measured. Observation is not passive, it is an act of creation. The images shift to scientists performing double-slit experiments, electrons striking screens in patterns that defy intuition. The very act of seeing determines the outcome, the narrator whispers. The universe does not simply exist independently of us. It responds to the gaze, the inquiry, the awareness. The narrative deepens, bridging physics with philosophy. Visuals illustrate entangled particles, separated across distances unimaginable, reacting in perfect synchrony. If particles are linked across space, if the act of measurement affects outcomes instantly, then the universe is not compartmentalized. Everything is connected. And perhaps, consciousness itself is part of this entanglement, participating in the unfolding of reality. The camera drifts through glowing networks of neurons and interstellar maps, highlighting the symmetry between mind and cosmos. A pause follows, letting the tension build. Consider this, the narrator says softly, every atom in your body, every quantum interaction has a history that stretches back to the birth of the universe. Each photon of light, each electron in your cells, carries information from distant stars. You are, in a sense, a vessel of the universe observing itself. The visuals reinforce the idea. Neurons glowing in sync with atomic vibrations, the brain and cosmos reflecting the same patterns. The imagery is simultaneously intimate and cosmic, grounding the abstract in human experience. The scene shifts to historical context, tracing the ideas of physicists and philosophers who explored the relationship between consciousness and reality. Schrödinger's cat emerges again, now a metaphor for perception itself. Bohr and Heisenberg's debates resurface, underscoring the tension between objective measurement and subjective experience. These early pioneers glimpsed a universe more intertwined than previously imagined, the narrator explains. They discovered that the observer is not separate from the observed, that awareness is an intrinsic part of reality's architecture. The visuals become more abstract, illustrating the philosophical implications. Swirling fractals, waves collapsing into particles and luminous filaments stretch infinitely. If consciousness participates in shaping reality, the narrator asks, then the universe is not merely a machine. It is an ongoing dialogue and exchange of information, a co-creation between mind and matter. The music swells subtly, carrying the weight of possibility and mystery, reinforcing the notion that the cosmos is alive with unseen interaction. The section explores implications for humanity. Images of people gazing at stars, children observing nature, researchers peering into microscopes, highlight the participatory role of consciousness. Every perception, the narrator continues, every act of curiosity, every observation, nudges the universe toward one outcome or another. Our awareness is not incidental. It is woven into the very fabric of existence. In observing, we become part of the infinite network that sustains reality. The camera lingers on the flicker of neurons, the shimmer of electrons, and the spin of galaxies, all echoes of the same intricate, interconnected system. A contrast emerges between the vast and the intimate. We see cosmic webs stretching across billions of light-years, then zoom into subatomic fields vibrating within a single molecule. The macro and the micro, the cosmos and the self, are reflections of each other, the narrator says, voice almost whispering. Awareness is the bridge, the pulse that resonates across scales, linking the infinite with the infinitesimal. In understanding this, we glimpse a universe that is not only observed but alive, responsive, and aware. The section closes with a lingering question, framed as both awe and invitation. The camera pans over a quiet night sky, the Milky Way stretching like a silver river, before cutting to the flickering atoms in the human body. If consciousness participates in shaping reality, the narrator concludes, then every thought, every glance, every act of observation is a thread in the grand tapestry. The universe is not only out there, vast and eternal, but also within, echoing, reflecting, and responding to us in ways we are only beginning to understand. The screen fades to black, leaving a faint shimmer of light, as if the cosmos itself holds its breath, waiting for the next observer to awaken it. The cosmos stretches endlessly, a dark ocean sprinkled with light, yet it is in the tiny spaces within that the universe reveals its most intimate secrets. The camera drifts slowly through the void, tracing the delicate filaments of galaxies as they weave across billions of light-years, then zooms inward, into the hidden world of subatomic particles. The narrator's voice emerges, calm and resonant. We have seen reflections of the cosmos within the atom, echoes of the infinite in the infinitesimal. But the story does not end there. Within these invisible realms lies a deeper truth, one that challenges everything we think we know about space, time, and existence itself. The scene moves to a simulation of an atomic nucleus, protons and neutrons bound tightly together, spinning in intricate patterns. Electrons flicker in probability clouds around them, appearing and disappearing with no predictable rhythm. Here, the narrator continues, we glimpse the pulse of reality itself. The atom is not static. It is alive with motion, with energy, with the subtle forces that shape everything we see around us. Visuals ripple as if the particles themselves are responding to the narration, vibrating in time with a hidden cosmic beat. The perspective shifts to entanglement. Two particles, separated by distances beyond comprehension, react instantly when one is measured. The narrator's voice softens, tinged with awe. In this delicate dance, the universe defies separation. Action and reaction occur simultaneously across vast expanses. Space and distance, once thought absolute, dissolve into connectivity. It is a whisper of unity, that all things are linked, woven together in a tapestry of invisible threads. The camera lingers on glowing filaments connecting distant particles, as though the universe itself has hands, linking the small with the large. The section transitions to the forces that govern matter. The strong nuclear force holds the atomic nucleus together, resisting the repulsion of positively charged protons. Electromagnetic forces guide electrons in their orbits, while gravity, almost imperceptible at this scale, still resonates in the patterns of planetary motion. Every interaction, the narrator explains, from the tiniest quark to the spin of a galaxy, obeys the same principles. Nature is consistent, elegant, and unforgiving in its precision. There is beauty in this order, but also a humbling reminder of our smallness. The visuals overlay quantum lattices with cosmic structures, revealing symmetry that stretches across scales. Historical context returns, tracing the discoveries that revealed these hidden forces. Visuals show scientists at blackboards, performing experiments with Geiger counters, cloud chambers, and particle accelerators. These pioneers peered into realms invisible to the eye, the narrator reflects, revealing laws that govern everything. They taught us that the universe is not chaos, but an intricate web, where patterns repeat endlessly, and where the microcosm mirrors the macrocosm. Each scene is interlaced with simulations of atomic and galactic structures, reinforcing the continuum of connection. The tone grows contemplative, philosophical. The narrator poses a question: if the smallest building blocks of matter obey the same laws as the stars, then what does this imply about our place in the universe? Are we separate observers, or are we part of the same network, participating in the ongoing creation of reality? Visuals underscore the point: neurons firing in the human brain, the spin of electrons, galaxies orbiting their centers, all echoing one another in scale and rhythm. The connection between consciousness and the cosmos becomes palpable, a bridge between observation and existence. The music swells, carrying a sense of tension and revelation. The camera explores virtual particles, appearing and vanishing in quantum foam, the restless background of spacetime. Even in the emptiest regions, the narrator continues, there is energy, potential, vibration. Space itself is not nothing. It is alive with possibility. Every moment, every fluctuation, every interaction contributes to the ongoing story of the universe. The visuals suggest a living, breathing cosmos, where emptiness is fertile and potential is omnipresent. The narrative shifts to cosmology, linking the quantum world to the origin of the universe. The Big Bang emerges as a bright point of energy, expanding, cooling, forming matter. The same rules that govern subatomic particles shape the evolution of galaxies, stars, and planets. There is continuity between the very small and the very large. The universe is coherent, recursive, a fractal of unimaginable complexity. The patterns we see in the atom echo across the void, mirrored in the swirl of galaxies and the dance of stars. The imagery emphasizes symmetry and scale, showing nested structures across magnitudes of size. A human element enters. Researchers observe particles in cutting-edge accelerators, their faces lit by the glow of screens and instrumentation. "We are not merely observers," the narrator intones. "We are participants." Every measurement, every experiment, every act of inquiry nudges the universe toward understanding. In studying the atom, we also study ourselves, discovering our own connection to the cosmic fabric. Visual overlays merge human neurons with atomic clouds and cosmic filaments, reinforcing the intertwined nature of mind and matter. The section closes with a reflective, poetic cadence. The camera pans outward from a single atom, through molecular structures, planetary systems, and finally the vast web of the cosmos. Within the smallest we see the largest. Within the simplest we glimpse the infinite. The universe is alive with patterns, forces, and connections, and through us, it becomes aware of itself. We are not mere spectators. We are threads woven into the eternal tapestry, echoes of the quantum and the cosmic, witnesses to the ongoing miracle of existence. The screen fades to black, leaving a lingering sense of awe, connection, and the infinite dance between the microcosm and the macrocosm. The human mind has always been drawn to the unknown, to the invisible currents that shape reality. The camera floats over a quiet observatory at night, telescopes pointed toward distant stars, and then dives inward, past human perception, into the quantum world that pulses beneath everything we see. The narrator's voice begins, calm yet charged with awe. "We have explored the cosmos above us and the atoms within us. But the final frontier is the space between, the realm where observation, consciousness, and reality converge into a single, astonishing truth." The air hums with possibility as though the universe itself is listening. Inside the atom, protons and neutrons whirl in tightly bound nuclei, while electrons flicker in ghostly clouds, their paths uncertain and probabilistic. "This is a world without certainty," the narrator continues, "where every particle exists in multiple states until observed, where entanglement allows instantaneous connection across impossible distances, and where the tiniest interactions ripple outward, influencing the cosmos itself." The camera drifts through this landscape, revealing patterns of motion that mirror the arcs of distant galaxies, fractal echoes bridging the infinitely small with the infinitely vast. The narrative emphasizes the participatory role of consciousness. Visuals show scientists peering into quantum experiments, their presence subtly influencing outcomes, electrons responding as if aware of being watched. "The observer is not separate from the observed," the narrator explains. "To witness the universe is to participate in it, to complete the act of reality. Our awareness is woven into the very fabric of existence, echoing across scales and time." The music swells, a low, resonant vibration, suggesting a pulse that connects mind and matter, atom and galaxy. The camera moves outward, tracing cosmic filaments spanning billions of light-years, then back inward, following neural pathways firing in the human brain. "The same patterns repeat," the narrator continues, voice filled with wonder. "The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. The structure of neurons mirrors the flow of galaxies. The dance of electrons mimics the swirl of stars. In this recursive symmetry, we see that the universe is coherent, ordered, and intimately connected." Each frame reinforces the philosophical tension. We are both observers and participants, separate yet inseparable from the vast web of reality. Historical perspective enters once more. Footage of Bohr, Schrödinger, Einstein, and Planck reminds the viewer of the human courage behind the exploration of the unseen. "These pioneers ventured into uncertainty," the narrator says, challenging intuition and confronting paradox. "They revealed that reality is not fixed, that the universe is more subtle, more interconnected, and more beautiful than we could imagine." Their work laid the foundation for a view of existence in which consciousness and matter are not opposites, but co-creators. The camera lingers on handwritten equations, sketches of atoms and diagrams of entanglement, emphasizing human insight as part of the cosmic story. The visuals grow increasingly abstract. Electrons and photons pulse with energy, wave functions fold upon themselves, and entangled particles shimmer in tandem across vast distances. Every interaction, the narrator intones, from a quark in a nucleus to a photon of starlight, participates in the ongoing story of the universe. Nothing is isolated. Everything is interconnected. Reality is not merely observed. It is a conversation between existence and awareness, a dialogue that stretches across time and space. The imagery reinforces the profound intimacy between the observer and the observed, science and philosophy, matter and mind. The section explores the implications of this understanding. If the universe is participatory, then human choice, observation and curiosity are not incidental. They are essential threads in the cosmic tapestry. The camera shows children gazing at stars, researchers studying particles, and solitary individuals immersed in thought. Every glance, every thought, every act of curiosity, the narrator says, ripples outward, influencing the fabric of reality. We are not passive inhabitants of the cosmos. We are conscious participants, aware of and entwined with the infinite. The visuals merge the human, atomic and cosmic scales, showing them as reflections of one another. A sense of tension and wonder builds as the narration continues. The camera zooms back into atomic nuclei and quantum clouds, then rockets outward through planetary systems and intergalactic voids. The infinite is contained within the infinitesimal, the narrator reflects. The smallest atom contains echoes of the universe. The cosmos mirrors itself in us. Time, space, matter, and consciousness are threads of a single pattern, vibrating in perfect harmony, revealing a reality that is alive, responsive, and aware. The music swells, resonant and awe-inspiring, reinforcing the grandeur of the connection. The narrative turns to reflection. The narrator whispers, "We have glimpsed the universe within an atom, seen the stars reflected in particles, and understood that observation shapes existence. Yet for all we know, this is only the beginning. Every discovery opens new questions, every answer uncovers deeper mysteries. The dance between the known and the unknown is eternal, and we are both witnesses and participants in that dance." Visuals shimmer with particles, galaxies and neural networks in unison, emphasizing continuity and infinite complexity. The final sequence bridges the cosmic and human perspectives. A lone observer gazes at the night sky, while an electron pulses inside a nucleus. The narrator's voice softens, intimate and profound. Perhaps the universe has always been waiting for consciousness to awaken, for beings capable of seeing, understanding, and marveling. Inside the atom, in the stars, in ourselves, we find the same rhythm, the same reflection of infinity. We are both observers and observed, creators and creation, threads in the vast, interconnected web of existence. The camera slowly fades to black, leaving only the faint shimmer of particles, stars, and neurons, a silent echo of the interconnected universe, a reminder that we are part of something infinitely larger and intimately connected. The music fades with it, lingering as a heartbeat of existence itself, resonating in the mind of the viewer. The universe is a vast, echoing silence, yet it hums with hidden rhythms that vibrate through every scale of existence. The camera drifts slowly across a dense field of stars, their light stretching billions of years to reach our eyes, then dives inward, into the atomic world where protons, neutrons, and electrons perform their unseen dance. The narrator's voice enters, soft, deliberate, reverent. We have explored the cosmos above and the atoms within. But the most profound truth lies in the patterns that connect them, in the laws that bind the microcosm and macrocosm in a single, coherent whole. The visuals shimmer with luminous threads, hinting at an invisible architecture that spans the universe. The scene transitions to a lattice of subatomic particles, vibrating with energy, colliding and repelling, collapsing and emerging anew. In these tiny interactions, the narrator continues, we see echoes of the vast universe. The forces that hold the nucleus together, the strong and weak nuclear forces, mirror the forces that govern stars and galaxies. Gravity, electromagnetism, and quantum mechanics operate not in isolation, but in a symphony that orchestrates reality. The camera pans along invisible lines of energy, showing the intricate balance that sustains matter, life, and cosmic evolution. The focus shifts to entanglement, the phenomenon where particles remain connected across distances inconceivable. Two electrons, separated by light years, react instantaneously to each other's state. The narrator's tone grows contemplative. This connection defies classical understanding. It suggests that the universe is not a collection of isolated objects, but an intricate network, where each part participates in the whole. Space, distance, and separation are illusions. Reality is a web of interdependence. The visuals pulse with a luminous web, stretching from the subatomic to the cosmic, linking galaxies, atoms, and human consciousness. The narrative moves into historical discovery. Archival footage shows the meticulous experiments of Bell, Aspect, and Clauser, proving that local hidden variables cannot explain quantum entanglement. The narrator explains, "These scientists peered into the heart of the invisible and found that reality is far stranger than imagination allows. The universe speaks a language we are only beginning to decipher, a language of probabilities, connections, and instantaneous interaction." The camera lingers on oscilloscopes, glowing interference patterns, and particle detectors, visualizing data that hints at the unseen architecture of existence. Philosophical implications emerge. The visuals shift between neurons firing in the human brain, electrons in superposition, and galaxies spiraling in darkness. If the universe is an interconnected web, the narrator muses, then consciousness is not an isolated phenomenon. Every observation, every thought, every interaction participates in shaping reality. Awareness may not merely perceive the universe, it may be an intrinsic part of its structure. The imagery evokes awe, suggesting that mind and matter, microcosm and macrocosm, are reflections of one another in an infinite mirror. The section dives deeper into forces of creation. Nuclear fusion within stars produces light and energy, binding matter into complex forms. Electrons and quarks interact in ways that govern chemistry and biology, while the motion of galaxies follows gravitational choreography shaped over billions of years. Every scale mirrors the next, the narrator continues, from quantum fluctuations to the spin of planets. Nature reuses its patterns, repeating its principles across the fabric of reality, as if the cosmos is a fractal of infinite complexity. The visuals juxtapose atomic lattices with the cosmic web, creating a sense of awe and symmetry. Human discovery weaves through the narrative. Scientists in labs manipulate particles with lasers and magnetic fields, peering into phenomena previously unimaginable. We are the witnesses, the narrator intones, but also the participants. Each measurement, each experiment, nudges the universe into awareness of itself. Reality is not merely observed, it is co-created. The camera lingers on their focused faces, hands adjusting instruments, eyes reflecting the glow of atomic simulations, highlighting the human role in unraveling the universe's hidden design. The narrative emphasizes the recursive nature of existence. Visuals show the same spiraling patterns repeating across scales, from electron orbits to planetary orbits to galactic spirals. The universe mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator continues. The structure of the smallest particles is echoed in the stars. The patterns of energy, motion, and connection repeat at every level. To understand the microcosm is to understand the macrocosm, and vice versa. The cosmos is a single coherent system, alive with symmetry and resonance. A contemplative pause allows the viewer to absorb the scope. The music softens as the camera drifts through layers of reality, quantum fields vibrating, planets orbiting stars, galaxies swirling in the void. This coherence, the narrator whispers, suggests that the universe is not random. There is order, intelligence, a rhythm woven into the fabric of existence. It is a universe that is both precise and beautiful, vast yet intimate, indifferent yet responsive. Each image reinforces the sense of connectedness, of participation, of a living cosmos. The section closes with a reflective, poetic cadence. The camera retreats outward from the quantum lattice, through molecules, planets, and finally the cosmic web. Within the smallest building blocks of matter, we see the blueprint of galaxies. Within the vastness of space, we see the reflection of the atom. Forces, patterns, and connections repeat endlessly, and we are part of that repetition. Witnesses and participants, conscious threads woven into the tapestry of the universe. The screen fades to black, leaving a lingering impression of awe, interconnectedness, and the profound mystery of a cosmos alive with both structure and consciousness. The universe hums with subtle rhythms, a quiet symphony that stretches from the smallest particle to the farthest galaxy. The camera drifts across a darkened cosmos, stars and nebulae shimmering like distant fireflies, before diving inward into the microscopic world of atoms and subatomic particles. The narrator's voice emerges, calm yet charged with wonder. We have explored the vast and the minute, glimpsed the connections between stars and atoms, and seen that the universe is not a collection of isolated parts, but a living, interwoven network of energy, matter, and information. The visuals shimmer with threads of light, linking particles, molecules, planets, and galaxies in a continuous, invisible web. The scene shifts to quantum fields, vibrating with energy and possibility. Electrons flicker in probability clouds, protons and neutrons dance within nuclei, and virtual particles flash into and out of existence. The atom, the narrator continues, is not a static entity. It is a dynamic, vibrant microcosm, a miniature universe pulsing with motion, possibility, and connection. Every particle interacts, every fluctuation matters, and the rules governing this microcosm echo across the cosmos. The camera glides through simulations where atomic interactions resemble galaxies spinning, their energies and motions mirroring one another across scales. Entanglement takes center stage. Pairs of particles, separated by unimaginable distances, react in perfect synchrony. This phenomenon, the narrator explains, reveals that the universe is fundamentally relational. Separation is an illusion. What happens here resonates there instantaneously across space and time. Reality is not a set of independent objects but a connected web, where each part informs and shapes the whole. The visuals depict glowing filaments of connection spanning from subatomic lattices to spiraling galaxies, reinforcing the sense of a unified cosmos. The narrative draws on historical breakthroughs. Footage of scientists performing pioneering experiments, Bell tests, cloud chamber observations, laser manipulations, illustrates humanity's quest to reveal hidden order. The pioneers of quantum mechanics and particle physics peered into a realm beyond perception, uncovering laws that defy intuition yet describe the universe with astonishing accuracy, the narrator says. Their work shows that understanding reality requires both curiosity and courage, a willingness to confront paradox and uncertainty. The visuals mix archival footage with simulations of quantum interactions, emphasizing the human pursuit of cosmic truth. Philosophical reflection deepens the narrative. The camera traces neural networks firing in the brain, juxtaposed with atomic lattices and cosmic filaments. If the universe is interconnected at all levels, the narrator muses, then consciousness itself may be entwined with reality. Our awareness is not separate from existence, it participates in it. Observation is not passive, it is an act of co-creation, a dialogue between mind and matter, between the observer and the observed. The imagery evokes awe, suggesting that human thought resonates with the same patterns that govern galaxies and particles. The visuals shift to the forces that shape the universe. Strong and weak nuclear forces bind the nucleus, electromagnetism guides electrons, gravity choreographs planetary orbits, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. These forces, the narrator continues, are the hidden architects of reality, establishing order across scales. What governs the smallest building blocks of matter also dictates the motion of stars and galaxies. Nature's rules are coherent, precise, and beautiful. The screen overlays atomic simulations with galactic structures, creating a seamless continuum between microcosm and macrocosm. The narrative emphasizes symmetry and repetition. Spiral patterns appear in electron orbitals, hurricane clouds, planetary systems, and spiral galaxies. Nature repeats its motifs endlessly, the narrator says. The structure of matter mirrors the structure of space. The rhythms of the microcosm echo in the macrocosm. In this recursive symmetry, we glimpse the profound intelligence embedded in reality, a universe that is elegant, ordered, and alive with meaning. The music rises, a low, resonant tone reinforcing the sense of awe and connection. Human discovery is woven into the story. Researchers manipulate particles with lasers, guide atoms with magnetic fields, and measure interactions with astonishing precision. We are not merely observers, the narrator emphasizes. We are participants. Every experiment, every measurement, every act of curiosity nudges reality toward awareness of itself. Through inquiry we bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknowable. The camera lingers on faces illuminated by instruments, highlighting the human role in uncovering the universe's hidden architecture. The narrative grows reflective, drawing connections between physics, philosophy, and human experience. Neurons firing in the brain, atomic lattices vibrating with energy, and galaxies spinning in synchrony all echo the same underlying patterns. The cosmos is coherent, the narrator whispers. The smallest and largest scales are intertwined. The forces that shape matter also shape thought, perception, and consciousness. We are not separate from the universe. We are threads woven into its intricate tapestry. The visuals blend seamlessly, reinforcing the universality of patterns and the unity of existence. A sense of tension and wonder builds as the camera alternates between the infinite and the infinitesimal. Quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments. Subatomic spins mirror planetary orbits. Light bends around massive clusters. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The universe is an interconnected whole, and in understanding one part we illuminate the rest. From atom to galaxy, from consciousness to cosmos, all is linked in a symphony of existence. The music swells, creating a feeling of expansive awe, the viewer suspended between scales, caught in the rhythm of the universe. The section closes with a poetic, contemplative cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices to planetary systems, from spiraling galaxies to the vast cosmic web. Within the smallest particles lie reflections of the largest structures, the narrator concludes. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motions, and connections resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are part of this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within, alive with connection, symmetry, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving a lingering sense of awe, connection, and infinite possibility. The universe stretches endlessly, a vast tapestry of light and darkness, yet its most profound truths lie in the invisible threads that bind everything together. The camera sweeps across the cosmic web, galaxies strung like jewels along immense filaments, before diving inward, through planetary systems, molecules, and finally into the atomic and subatomic world. The narrator's voice emerges, steady, reverent, filled with awe. We have explored the cosmos above us and the atoms within us. But to truly grasp the universe, we must follow the patterns that repeat across scales, the invisible architecture that connects the infinitesimal to the infinite. Light shimmers along threads that trace connections between the smallest particles and the largest celestial structures, hinting at an underlying order. The focus turns to quantum mechanics, where particles exist in states of uncertainty, interacting in ways that defy classical intuition. At this scale, the narrator continues, the universe is fluid, probabilistic, and alive with possibility. Electrons and quarks flicker in and out of existence, wave functions oscillate, and entanglement links particles across unimaginable distances. The rules of the cosmos are not arbitrary, they are precise, consistent, and repeat across every level of reality. Visuals pulse with energy, particles colliding, spinning, and connecting, revealing a hidden choreography that mirrors cosmic structures. The camera moves outward, bridging the gap between microcosm and macrocosm. Spiral patterns repeat in electron orbitals, hurricanes, planetary systems, and galaxies. Nature recycles its motifs endlessly, the narrator explains. The same principles govern the atom and the star. The forces that bind the nucleus, the strong and weak nuclear forces, echo in the gravitational choreography of galaxies. Energy flows in patterns that repeat, resonate, and interconnect, from quark to quasar. The visuals merge atomic lattices with cosmic filaments, emphasizing the symmetry and coherence of the universe. Entanglement is explored further. Two particles, separated across light years, respond instantaneously to each other's state. This phenomenon, the narrator observes, reveals that separation is an illusion. The universe is fundamentally relational. Every particle participates in a web of interactions that transcends distance and time. Microcosm and macrocosm are not isolated domains. They are reflections of one another, woven into a continuous, dynamic fabric. Glowing filaments connect distant particles and galaxies alike, illustrating the profound interconnectedness of all things. The historical narrative weaves in the human pursuit of understanding. Footage of physicists, from Planck to Bell, shows the relentless experimentation and meticulous observation that revealed these hidden patterns. The pioneers of quantum mechanics and cosmology dared to peer into the unseen, the narrator continues. They challenged intuition, embraced paradox, and revealed a universe far stranger and more beautiful than imagination alone could conceive. Archival images of chalkboards filled with equations, laboratory apparatus, and particle detectors underscore the human courage behind scientific discovery. Philosophical reflection deepens the section. Neurons firing in the human brain, atomic lattices vibrating with energy, and galaxies swirling in the void all display similar patterns. Consciousness itself, the narrator muses, may be entwined with the fabric of the universe. Every observation, every act of awareness, participates in shaping reality. The observer is not separate from the observed. We are co-creators in a universe that is alive, responsive, and interconnected. The visuals reinforce this, blending human thought, atomic activity, and cosmic motion into a seamless flow. The narrative examines the forces that shape matter and motion. Nuclear forces stabilize atomic nuclei, electromagnetism governs chemical interactions, gravity orchestrates planetary orbits, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. The same forces, the narrator continues, manifest at every scale. What holds a proton together also dictates the paths of stars and galaxies. Nature is coherent, precise, and elegant, revealing a cosmos that repeats its principles endlessly, from the smallest building blocks to the grandest structures. The camera overlays simulations of atomic and galactic interactions, highlighting their symmetry and resonance. Human engagement with these forces is emphasized. Scientists manipulate particles with lasers, guide atoms with magnetic fields, and observe interactions at unimaginable precision. Through our curiosity and observation, the narrator says, we participate in the ongoing evolution of reality. Every experiment, every insight, nudges the universe into awareness of itself. We are not passive observers but active participants in the grand design, uncovering the patterns that weave existence together. Faces illuminated by instrument panels, hands adjusting delicate apparatus, and intense focus communicate humanity's role in this cosmic exploration. The narrative then reflects on symmetry and recursion. Spiral patterns, fractals, and oscillations echo across scales, from atomic orbitals to hurricanes, planetary systems, and galaxies. The cosmos mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator intones. The patterns that govern the very small are reflected in the very large. Motion, energy, and connection resonate across all scales. By studying one layer of reality, we illuminate another, revealing a universe that is elegant, coherent, and alive with order. The visuals reinforce this recursive symmetry, evoking awe and the sense of participating in something greater. The section concludes with a poetic, reflective cadence. The camera retreats from subatomic lattices to molecular structures, planets, stars, and the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the tiniest particles, we glimpse the design of galaxies. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, structures, and connections resonate through all levels of reality, and we, as conscious observers, are woven into this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended in awe, contemplation, and a sense of intimate participation in the cosmic tapestry. The universe is both immense and intimate, stretching across incomprehensible distances while whispering its secrets in the smallest particles. The camera sweeps across the Milky Way, tracing the delicate threads of stars that stretch into the void, then dives inward to the atomic scale, where electrons flicker around nuclei in ghostly, probabilistic clouds. The narrator's voice emerges, calm yet full of awe. We have explored the cosmos and the atom, discovering that the same patterns and forces govern both. But to truly understand the universe, we must explore the invisible architecture that binds everything together. A framework of connections, symmetry, and energy that stretches from the infinitesimal to the infinite. The visuals shimmer with luminous threads linking atoms, molecules, planetary systems, and galaxies, illustrating the unity of all scales. The scene focuses on quantum mechanics, where the rules of classical intuition dissolve. Electrons occupy multiple states simultaneously, wave functions oscillate, and entangled particles respond instantaneously across vast distances. In this realm, the narrator continues, the universe is probabilistic, relational, and alive with potential. Every interaction matters and every fluctuation resonates outward. The forces that govern the tiniest particles, the strong and weak nuclear forces, electromagnetism, echo across the cosmos, shaping stars, planets, and galaxies in precise and predictable ways. The camera drifts through simulations of subatomic collisions, particles coalescing and separating, their motion resembling the swirl of distant galaxies. The narrative highlights entanglement, showing paired particles separated by light years responding in perfect synchrony. This phenomenon reveals that the universe is fundamentally interconnected, the narrator explains. Separation is an illusion. Each particle, each force, each motion participates in a vast network of interactions, where the microcosm and macrocosm mirror one another. Reality is a continuous web and we are threads woven into it. Visuals depict glowing filaments linking subatomic lattices to galactic structures, reinforcing the profound symmetry of nature. Historical breakthroughs are woven into the narrative. Archival footage shows scientists designing experiments to probe the unseen, cloud chambers, particle accelerators, laser systems, uncovering the hidden laws of nature. The pioneers of quantum physics and cosmology ventured into the invisible, challenging intuition and embracing paradox, the narrator reflects. Their discoveries revealed a universe far stranger and more elegant than we ever imagined. Every particle, every interaction, every observation carries echoes of the cosmic order. The visuals combine archival footage with simulations of quantum and cosmic phenomena, bridging history and discovery. The narrative then considers consciousness. The camera traces neural activity in the human brain alongside atomic lattices and spinning galaxies. If the universe is interconnected at all scales, then awareness itself may be entwined with reality, the narrator says. Observation is not passive. It participates in shaping outcomes. Consciousness resonates with the same patterns that govern matter and energy, bridging the microcosm with the macrocosm. In observing, we are co-creators, threads woven into the living tapestry of existence. The visuals blend neurons, atomic clouds, and galactic filaments, illustrating the unity of mind and cosmos. The forces that govern existence are explored further. Nuclear interactions stabilize atoms, electromagnetism directs chemical bonding, gravity orchestrates planetary motion, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. The same principles apply at every scale, the narrator continues. What holds a nucleus together also dictates the movement of planets and the formation of galaxies. Nature is consistent, elegant, and precise, revealing a universe where the same rules echo from quarks to quasars. Visual overlays juxtapose atomic lattices with cosmic webs, emphasizing symmetry and harmony across scales. Human interaction with these forces is highlighted. Scientists manipulate atoms with lasers, measure particle interactions, and explore quantum phenomena with meticulous care. Through our curiosity and inquiry, the narrator observes, we do not merely witness the universe, we participate in it. Every measurement, every experiment, every act of observation nudges reality toward understanding. We are both observers and participants in the unfolding story of existence. The camera lingers on faces illuminated by glowing instruments, hands guiding delicate apparatus, emphasizing humanity's role in revealing cosmic order. Symmetry and recursion are emphasized. Spiral patterns, fractals, and oscillations repeat across scales, from electron orbitals to planetary systems, hurricanes, and galaxies. The universe mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator explains. The same structures recur in every layer of reality. Motion, energy, and connection resonate across the cosmos. By exploring one scale, we illuminate another, uncovering the elegant architecture that binds all things. The visuals reinforce this recursive pattern, evoking awe and contemplation. The narrative grows reflective. Quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments, subatomic spins mirror planetary orbits, and light bends around massive clusters. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The universe is a connected whole, where the infinitely small and the infinitely large participate in a shared rhythm. In understanding one, we glimpse the other. From atom to galaxy, from consciousness to cosmos, all is linked in a dynamic living pattern. The music swells, heightening the sense of wonder and unity. The section concludes with a poetic cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices, through molecular structures, planets, stars, and finally the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the smallest particles lie reflections of the grandest structures. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motions, and connections resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are woven into this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and awe. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between the microcosm and the macrocosm, feeling intimately connected to the infinite. The universe is a vast, intricate tapestry, stretching across unimaginable distances yet reflected in the tiniest particles of matter. The camera glides over the cosmic web, tracing luminous filaments connecting galaxies, then dives inward, past stars, planets, and molecules, into the atomic and subatomic world. The narrator's voice enters, calm, deliberate, filled with awe. We have seen the universe in its grandest form and its smallest, Yet the true wonder lies in the patterns that link them. The cosmos and the atom are not separate. They are reflections of each other, bound by invisible forces that echo across every scale of reality. Threads of light shimmer, connecting protons, electrons, planets, and stars in an unbroken web of energy and motion. The focus turns to the dynamic world within atoms. Electrons occupy probability clouds, spinning and flickering in ways that defy classical expectation. Nuclei vibrate with energy, quarks bound by the strong nuclear force collide and separate, and virtual particles flash into existence only to vanish again. Within these interactions, the narrator continues, we witness the heartbeat of reality itself. The tiniest forces, the smallest fluctuations, shape everything from chemical bonds to stellar formations. The microcosm and the macrocosm are not separate domains. They mirror each other, revealing a universe of infinite coherence and subtle beauty. Visuals pulse with energy, particles colliding and forming complex patterns, their motion echoing the swirl of galaxies. Entanglement is highlighted. Paired particles, separated by unimaginable distances, respond instantly to changes in one another. This phenomenon, the narrator explains, reveals a universe built on connection rather than isolation. Distance is relative. Separation is illusory. Reality is a network of interactions, where every particle participates in a larger pattern, linking the microcosm to the macrocosm. What happens here resonates across space and time. Glowing filaments of energy stretch from atomic lattices to interstellar structures, emphasizing the hidden unity of all things. Historical breakthroughs are woven into the narrative. Archival footage shows the careful experiments of early quantum physicists and cosmologists, from cloud chambers to particle accelerators. These pioneers dared to peer into the unseen, the narrator continues, revealing laws that defy intuition yet govern the universe with astonishing precision. Every observation, every discovery, illuminated the hidden architecture of reality, unveiling patterns that repeat endlessly across scales. The visuals blend archival imagery with animated simulations of quantum and cosmic phenomena, linking human curiosity with the universe's underlying structure. Philosophical reflection deepens. Neural activity in the human brain pulses in rhythm with the energy of atomic lattices and the spiraling motion of galaxies. If the universe is interconnected at every scale, the narrator muses, then consciousness itself may be part of this network. Observation is not passive, it shapes outcomes. Our awareness resonates with the same patterns that govern matter and energy. In perceiving the universe, we participate in it, co-creating reality through every thought, glance, and action. The visuals intertwine neurons, electrons, and cosmic filaments, conveying a seamless unity between mind and matter. The narrative emphasizes the forces that shape reality. Nuclear forces bind atomic nuclei, electromagnetism governs chemistry, gravity orchestrates planetary motion, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. These forces are consistent across scales, the narrator continues. What holds a quark together also guides the dance of stars and galaxies. Nature is precise, elegant, and deeply interconnected, with patterns repeating from the smallest building blocks to the grandest structures. Animated overlays juxtapose atomic lattices with cosmic formations, revealing symmetry and coherence. Human engagement with these forces is highlighted. Scientists manipulate particles with lasers, guide atoms with magnetic fields, and record interactions with astonishing precision. Through observation and experimentation, the narrator says, we do not merely witness the universe, we become participants. Every measurement, every insight, every act of inquiry nudges reality toward understanding. We are woven into the cosmic web, influencing and discovering the patterns that underlie existence. Faces illuminated by instruments, hands adjusting delicate apparatus, and intense focus illustrate humanity's integral role in uncovering cosmic order. The narrative explores symmetry and recursion. Spiral structures, fractals, and oscillatory patterns recur from atomic orbitals to hurricanes, planetary systems, and spiral galaxies. The cosmos mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator explains. The same motifs repeat across scales, linking motion, energy, and connection. By studying one level of reality, we gain insight into another, revealing a universe that is elegant, coherent, and alive with pattern. The visuals highlight the recursive nature of the universe, emphasizing awe and a sense of deep understanding. The narrative grows reflective. Quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments, atomic spins mirror planetary orbits, and light bends around massive clusters. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The infinitely small and the infinitely large participate in a shared rhythm. By observing one, we illuminate the other. From atoms to galaxies, from consciousness to cosmos, all is interconnected in a living, dynamic tapestry. The music rises, enhancing the emotional resonance, immersing the viewer in the sense of awe and unity. The section concludes with a poetic cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices through molecules, planets, stars, and the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the tiniest particles lie reflections of the grandest structures. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motion, and connection resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are part of this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between awe and comprehension, intimately linked to the infinite cosmos. The universe stretches beyond comprehension, a vast expanse of light and darkness, yet its most profound secrets reside in the patterns that bind all scales of existence. The camera sweeps across the cosmic web, tracing luminous filaments that connect galaxies, clusters, and superclusters, before diving inward, past planets and molecules, into the atomic and subatomic realm. The narrator's voice emerges, calm, resonant, and reverent. We have explored the stars above and the atoms within, yet the universe's deepest truths lie in the invisible threads that connect everything. From the infinitesimal to the infinite, all is linked in an intricate, living tapestry of energy, matter, and information. Threads of light shimmer, linking electrons, protons, planetary systems, and galaxies, suggesting an architecture that repeats across scales. The focus shifts to quantum mechanics, where particles exist in states of uncertainty, constantly in motion and interaction. Electrons occupy probability clouds, quarks collide and separate within nuclei, and virtual particles blink into existence and vanish again. The atom, the narrator continues, is a microcosm of the cosmos. Its fluctuations, collisions, and forces mirror the dynamics of stars, planets, and galaxies. The smallest interactions ripple outward, influencing the structure and evolution of the universe. In every particle, we glimpse echoes of the infinite. The camera drifts through visualizations of atomic collisions, energy patterns swirling like miniature galaxies, reinforcing the profound symmetry of reality. Entanglement is highlighted, illustrating the universe's fundamental connectivity. Two particles, separated across vast distances, react instantaneously to changes in one another. This phenomenon, the narrator explains, reveals that separation is an illusion. Reality is not composed of isolated objects but of interdependent relationships. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm, and every action reverberates across space and time. In this web of connections, every particle, every force, and every motion participates in a continuous, coherent whole. Glowing filaments of energy stretch from atomic lattices to cosmic structures, visually expressing the unity of existence. Historical breakthroughs are interwoven. Footage of pioneering physicists performing experiments, cloud chambers, particle accelerators, and laser systems, illustrates humanity's quest to uncover the universe's hidden rules. These scientists ventured into the invisible, the narrator reflects, challenging intuition and embracing paradox. Their discoveries revealed a reality far stranger and more intricate than anyone had imagined. Every experiment illuminated the patterns that repeat across scales, connecting the quantum and the cosmic. Archival imagery is combined with animated simulations of quantum and galactic phenomena, linking human curiosity with the cosmos's underlying structure. Philosophical reflection deepens. Neural activity in the human brain, atomic lattices, and spinning galaxies all display similar patterns of energy and motion. Consciousness, the narrator muses, may not be separate from reality. Observation is not passive, it participates in shaping outcomes. Our awareness resonates with the same patterns that govern matter and energy. By perceiving, by contemplating, we become part of the universe's unfolding, co-creating reality alongside the forces that animate existence. The visuals intertwine neurons, electrons, and cosmic filaments, reinforcing the seamless connection between mind and cosmos. The narrative examines the forces that govern matter and motion. Nuclear forces stabilize atomic nuclei, electromagnetism directs chemical bonding, gravity orchestrates planetary orbits, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. These forces, the narrator continues, manifest consistently across scales. What holds a proton together also shapes the paths of stars and galaxies. Nature is elegant, precise, and interconnected, revealing a universe where principles repeat endlessly from the smallest building blocks to the grandest structures. Animated overlays juxtapose atomic lattices with cosmic webs, emphasizing symmetry and coherence. Human interaction with these forces is highlighted. Scientists manipulate atoms with lasers, guide particles with magnetic fields, and measure interactions with unparalleled precision. Through curiosity and experimentation, the narrator observes, we do not merely witness the universe, we participate in it. Each measurement, each act of observation nudges reality toward self-awareness. We are threads woven into the cosmic web, discovering and shaping the patterns that underlie existence. Faces illuminated by instruments, hands adjusting delicate apparatus, and focused attention underscore humanity's integral role in understanding cosmic order. The narrative explores symmetry and recursion. Spiral structures, fractals, and oscillatory patterns recur across scales, from electron orbitals to hurricanes, planetary systems, and spiral galaxies. The universe mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator explains. Motion, energy, and connection repeat across every level. By studying one scale, we illuminate another, uncovering the elegant architecture that binds all things. The visuals reinforce this recursive nature, evoking awe and contemplation. Reflection deepens as quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments, atomic spins echo planetary orbits, and light bends around massive structures. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The infinitely small and the infinitely large participate in a shared rhythm. Observing one reveals insights into the other. From atom to galaxy, from consciousness to cosmos, all is linked in a living, dynamic pattern. The music swells, amplifying the emotional resonance, immersing the viewer in the interconnectedness of existence. The section concludes with a poetic cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices through molecules, planets, stars, and finally the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the tiniest particles lie reflections of the grandest structures. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motions, and connections resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are woven into this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between awe and understanding, intimately connected to the infinite. The universe is a vast, intricate symphony, where the infinitely small and the infinitely large are bound together in patterns of profound elegance. The camera sweeps across the cosmos, tracing glowing filaments of galaxies that stretch across billions of light years, before descending into the microscopic world of atoms and subatomic particles. The narrator's voice emerges, calm, deliberate, and filled with reverence. We have journeyed from the farthest reaches of space to the tiniest quarks within the atom. We have discovered that these scales are not separate. They mirror one another, connected by invisible threads of energy, motion, and information. The visuals shimmer with luminous connections linking protons, electrons, planets, and stars, emphasizing the unity of all existence. The focus moves into the dynamic quantum realm. Electrons flicker in probability clouds, nuclei vibrate with energy, and virtual particles appear and vanish in fleeting instants. In this microscopic dance, the narrator continues, we witness the fundamental heartbeat of reality. Each particle, each interaction ripples across scales, influencing everything from molecular bonds to galactic structures. The universe at its core is relational, interconnected, and alive with possibility. The camera drifts through visualizations of atomic collisions and energy patterns that mirror the motion of distant galaxies, creating a seamless connection between microcosm and macrocosm. Entanglement is highlighted as a key feature of this interconnectedness. Pairs of particles, separated by vast distances, respond instantaneously to changes in one another. This phenomenon, the narrator explains, reveals that separation is an illusion. Every particle, every force, every motion participates in a continuous, coherent network. Reality is not composed of isolated objects but of relationships. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm, and the universe is a living, interconnected whole. Glowing filaments stretch from atomic lattices to cosmic structures, visually representing the profound unity of existence. Historical breakthroughs in science are interwoven throughout the narrative. Archival footage shows physicists designing and performing experiments, cloud chambers, particle accelerators and lasers, to probe the invisible fabric of reality. These pioneers ventured into the unseen, the narrator reflects, challenging intuition and embracing paradox. Their discoveries unveiled a universe far stranger and more elegant than imagination alone could conceive. Every observation illuminated the patterns that repeat endlessly, connecting quantum phenomena to cosmic evolution. Archival imagery merges with animated simulations, emphasizing the human drive to uncover the hidden architecture of reality. Philosophical reflection deepens. Neural networks in the brain, atomic lattices, and spinning galaxies all exhibit similar patterns of energy, motion, and symmetry. Consciousness, the narrator muses, may be more than a passive observer. Observation is an act of participation. Our awareness resonates with the patterns that govern matter and energy. By perceiving, contemplating, and understanding, we become active participants in the universe's unfolding, co-creating reality alongside the forces that animate existence. The visuals blend neurons, electrons, and cosmic filaments, reinforcing the seamless unity of mind and cosmos. The forces that shape reality are examined. Nuclear forces bind atomic nuclei, electromagnetism orchestrates chemical interactions, gravity guides planetary orbits, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. These forces, the narrator explains, are consistent and elegant across all scales. The same principles that govern the smallest particles dictate the motion of stars and galaxies. Nature is precise, interconnected, and beautiful, revealing patterns that repeat from the microcosm to the macrocosm. Animated overlays juxtapose atomic lattices with galactic structures, emphasizing symmetry and coherence. Human engagement with these forces is emphasized. Scientists manipulate atoms with lasers, guide particles with magnetic fields, and measure interactions with extreme precision. Through observation and experimentation, the narrator observes, we do not merely witness the universe, we participate in it. Every experiment, every measurement, every act of curiosity nudges reality towards self-awareness. Humanity is woven into the cosmic web, discovering and shaping the patterns that underlie existence. Faces illuminated by instruments, hands adjusting delicate apparatus, and focused attention illustrate the human role in understanding cosmic order. Symmetry and recursion are highlighted. Spiral structures, fractals, and oscillatory patterns recur across scales, from electron orbitals to planetary systems, hurricanes, and spiral galaxies. The cosmos mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator explains. The same motifs repeat across every scale, linking motion, energy, and connection. By exploring one layer of reality, we illuminate another, revealing the elegant architecture that binds all things. The visuals reinforce this recursive pattern, evoking awe and a sense of deep comprehension. The narrative grows reflective as quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments, atomic spins echo planetary orbits, and light bends around massive clusters. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The infinitely small and the infinitely large participate in a shared rhythm. Observing one reveals the other. From atoms to galaxies, from consciousness to cosmos, all is intertwined in a living, dynamic tapestry. The music rises, heightening the sense of awe and immersing the viewer in the interconnectedness of existence. The section concludes with a poetic cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices through molecules, planets, stars, and the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the tiniest particles lie reflections of the grandest structures. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motions, and connections resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are woven into this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between awe and understanding, intimately connected to the infinite. The universe stretches infinitely, a vast expanse of light, darkness, and motion, yet its deepest mysteries are woven into the patterns that connect all scales of reality. The camera sweeps across the cosmic web, tracing luminous filaments that link galaxies, clusters, and superclusters, before descending into the microscopic world of atoms and subatomic particles. The narrator's voice emerges, calm, reverent, and filled with awe. We have traveled from the edges of the cosmos to the heart of the atom. We have seen that these realms are not separate, but reflections of each other, bound by invisible threads of energy, motion, and information. Glowing filaments shimmer, connecting electrons, protons, planets, and stars, revealing a universal architecture that repeats across scales. The focus turns to the dynamic quantum world, where uncertainty and possibility define existence. Electrons occupy probability clouds, quarks collide and separate within nuclei, and virtual particles blink into and out of reality. Within this microscopic dance, the narrator continues, we witness the heartbeat of the universe. Each particle, each fluctuation, each interaction ripples outward, shaping matter, energy, and even the evolution of galaxies. The microcosm and macrocosm mirror each other, revealing a universe of infinite coherence and subtle elegance. Visualizations show atomic collisions, swirling energy, and patterns that echo the motion of distant galaxies, emphasizing the profound symmetry of nature. Entanglement emerges as a central theme. Paired particles, separated across unimaginable distances, respond instantaneously to each other. This phenomenon reveals that separation is an illusion, the narrator explains. Reality is relational. Each particle participates in a network of interactions where the microcosm and macrocosm are interconnected. What happens here resonates across space and time. The universe is not a collection of isolated objects, but a continuous, living whole. Luminous filaments visually connect atomic lattices to cosmic structures, emphasizing unity across scales. Historical breakthroughs in physics are woven into the narrative. Archival footage shows scientists performing pioneering experiments, cloud chambers, particle accelerators, and laser systems, revealing the invisible laws of nature. These pioneers challenged intuition and embraced paradox, the narrator reflects. They uncovered a reality far stranger and more intricate than anyone had imagined. Every observation illuminated patterns that repeat endlessly, linking quantum phenomena to cosmic evolution. Archival imagery blends seamlessly with animated simulations, linking human curiosity to the universe's underlying structure. Philosophical reflection deepens. Neurons firing in the brain, atomic lattices vibrating with energy, and galaxies spinning in the void all display similar patterns of motion and symmetry. Consciousness, the narrator muses, is not separate from reality. Observation is not passive, it shapes outcomes. Our awareness resonates with the same patterns that govern matter and energy. In perceiving and contemplating, we participate in the universe's unfolding, co-creating reality alongside the forces that animate existence. The visuals merge neurons, electrons, and cosmic filaments, reinforcing the unity of mind and cosmos. The narrative examines the fundamental forces of reality. Nuclear interactions stabilize atomic nuclei, electromagnetism governs chemical bonding, gravity orchestrates planetary motion, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. These forces are consistent across scales, the narrator continues. The same principles that govern the smallest particles also dictate the paths of stars and galaxies. Nature is precise, elegant, and interconnected, with patterns repeating from the microcosm to the macrocosm. Animated overlays juxtapose atomic lattices with cosmic webs, illustrating symmetry and coherence. Human interaction with these forces is highlighted. Scientists manipulate atoms with lasers, guide particles with magnetic fields, and measure interactions with extraordinary precision. Through observation and experimentation, the narrator observes, we do not merely witness the universe, we participate in it. Every measurement, every act of curiosity nudges reality toward understanding. Humanity is a thread woven into the cosmic web, discovering and shaping the patterns that underlie existence. Faces illuminated by instruments, hands adjusting delicate apparatus, and focused concentration illustrate humanity's role in understanding cosmic order. Symmetry and recursion are emphasized. Spiral structures, fractals, and oscillatory patterns recur across scales, from electron orbitals to hurricanes, planetary systems, and spiral galaxies. The cosmos mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator explains. The same motifs repeat across every layer of reality, linking motion, energy, and connection. By studying one scale, we illuminate another, uncovering the elegant architecture that binds all things. The visuals highlight this recursive pattern, inspiring awe and contemplation. Reflection deepens as quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments, atomic spins echo planetary orbits, and light bends around massive clusters. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The infinitely small and the infinitely large participate in a shared rhythm. Observing one scale illuminates the other. From atoms to galaxies, from consciousness to cosmos, all is intertwined in a living, dynamic tapestry. The music swells, amplifying the emotional resonance, immersing the viewer in the interconnectedness of existence. The section concludes with a poetic cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices through molecules, planets, stars, and the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the tiniest particles lie reflections of the grandest structures. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motion, and connection resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are woven into this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between awe and understanding, intimately connected to the infinite. The universe stretches beyond imagination, a vast expanse of light, darkness, and motion, yet its deepest secrets are hidden in the patterns that link all scales of existence. The camera sweeps across the cosmic web, tracing luminous filaments that connect galaxies, clusters, and superclusters, before diving inward past planets, molecules, and atoms into the subatomic realm. The narrator's voice emerges, calm, deliberate, and full of reverence. We have journeyed from the farthest reaches of the cosmos to the innermost heart of the atom. We have seen that these scales are not separate. They reflect one another, bound by invisible threads of energy, motion, and information. Glowing filaments shimmer, linking electrons, protons, planetary systems, and galaxies, revealing a universal architecture that repeats endlessly across scales. The focus shifts to the dynamic quantum realm, where uncertainty, possibility, and motion define existence. Electrons flicker in probability clouds, nuclei vibrate with energy, and virtual particles appear and vanish in fleeting instants. Within this microscopic dance, the narrator continues, we witness the heartbeat of reality itself. Each particle, each fluctuation, each interaction sends ripples outward, shaping matter, energy, and even the evolution of stars and galaxies. The microcosm and macrocosm mirror each other, revealing a universe of infinite coherence and subtle elegance. The camera glides through visualizations of atomic collisions and energy patterns that echo the swirling motion of distant galaxies, emphasizing the profound symmetry underlying existence. Entanglement is highlighted as a cornerstone of universal interconnectedness. Pairs of particles, separated by unimaginable distances, respond instantaneously to one another. This phenomenon reveals that separation is an illusion, the narrator explains. Reality is relational, not composed of isolated objects. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm, and every motion, every force, participates in a continuous, living network. What happens here resonates across space and time, linking all scales of existence in a unified whole. Luminous filaments stretch from atomic lattices to cosmic superstructures, visually expressing the deep connectivity of the cosmos. Historical breakthroughs are interwoven. Archival footage shows pioneering scientists performing experiments, cloud chambers, particle accelerators, and laser systems, probing the invisible fabric of reality. These visionaries dared to see beyond perception, the narrator reflects. They challenged intuition and embraced paradox. Their discoveries unveiled a universe far stranger and more intricate than anyone had imagined. Every observation illuminated patterns that repeat endlessly, linking quantum phenomena to cosmic evolution. Archival imagery merges seamlessly with animated simulations, highlighting humanity's role in uncovering the hidden architecture of reality. Philosophical reflection deepens. Neurons firing in the human brain, atomic lattices vibrating with energy, and galaxies spinning in the void all exhibit similar patterns of motion, symmetry, and rhythm. Consciousness, the narrator muses, is not separate from reality. Observation is not passive, it participates in shaping outcomes. Awareness resonates with the patterns that govern matter and energy. Through perception, contemplation, and understanding, we participate in the unfolding of the universe, co-creating reality alongside the forces that animate existence. The visuals blend neurons, electrons, and cosmic filaments, reinforcing the seamless unity between mind and cosmos. The narrative examines the forces that shape existence. Nuclear interactions stabilize atomic nuclei, electromagnetism governs chemical reactions, gravity orchestrates planetary motion, and dark energy drives cosmic expansion. These forces are elegant, consistent, and pervasive, the narrator continues. The same principles that govern the tiniest particles also dictate the motion of stars and galaxies. Nature is precise and interconnected, revealing a universe where the same patterns repeat from the microcosm to the macrocosm. Animated overlays juxtapose atomic lattices with cosmic structures, emphasizing symmetry and coherence across scales. Human engagement with these forces is highlighted. Scientists manipulate atoms with lasers, guide particles with magnetic fields, and measure interactions with extraordinary precision. Through observation and experimentation, the narrator observes, we do not merely witness the universe, we participate in it. Every experiment, every measurement, every act of curiosity nudges reality toward self-awareness. Humanity is a thread woven into the cosmic web, discovering and shaping the patterns that underlie existence. Faces illuminated by instruments, hands adjusting delicate apparatus, and focused attention illustrate the human role in understanding the universe's order. Symmetry and recursion are emphasized. Spiral structures, fractals, and oscillatory patterns recur across scales, from electron orbitals to hurricanes, planetary systems, and spiral galaxies. The cosmos mirrors itself endlessly, the narrator explains. The same motifs repeat across every layer of reality, linking motion, energy, and connection. By studying one scale, we illuminate another, uncovering the elegant architecture that binds all things. The visuals highlight these recursive patterns, inspiring awe and contemplation. Reflection deepens as quantum fluctuations ripple alongside cosmic filaments, atomic spins echo planetary orbits, and light bends around massive structures. Every scale informs the other, the narrator continues. The infinitely small and the infinitely large participate in a shared rhythm. Observing one scale illuminates the other. From atoms to galaxies, from consciousness to cosmos, all is intertwined in a living, dynamic tapestry. The music swells, amplifying emotional resonance, immersing the viewer in the interconnectedness of existence. The section concludes with a poetic cadence. The camera retreats from atomic lattices, through molecules, planets, stars, and the vast cosmic web. The narrator's voice softens. Within the tiniest particles lie reflections of the grandest structures. Within the vastness of space, the patterns of the atom repeat endlessly. Forces, motions, and connections resonate across all scales, and we, as conscious observers, are woven into this resonance. The universe is not only out there, it is within us, alive with symmetry, connection, and wonder. The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer suspended between awe and comprehension, intimately connected to the infinite.